The Dark Empath and the Narcissist. That's the title of this video. Hey, my name is Dr. Sami Baya. Please welcome back to my YouTube channel. Why the Dark Empath is more dangerous than a narcissist. That's what we're discussing in this video. The Dark Empath will use what you tell them against you. They do this the way narcissists do it. But Dark Empaths are highly intelligent. They are observant. They are exceptional communicators. They can make you feel more understood than you ever have been before in your life. The only thing about Dark Empaths, they don't care about anything you're telling them. They want information about you to use it against you. They hear what you're saying. They're listening and they understand, but they don't care about you. They'll use what you're telling them against you to make you inadequate and to break you up. The more you're sharing with the Dark Empath, the more your problems are getting worse. And the more you're relying on them. And the more they're getting information to use against you. Now, the Dark Empath will love bomb you so much. Then they stop suddenly. You remember, the Dark Empaths, they understand your emotions. They understand how you're feeling. They can imitate your emotions as well and make you feel like you're being truly heard and felt and helped. This is a very big, powerful love bombing tactic that the Dark Empath uses. They will like all your social media platforms. Like, they will also like all your posts in Facebook. They are giving you all the attention you need. They're giving you the validation. They're praising you. They're there for you. Then one day they stop. When it comes to love bombing, Dark Empaths are masters at it more than the narcissists. They forge this emotional bond and they use that to manipulate you for their own gain. The Dark Empath will strip away all your personal power. They will dig deep inside you and identify what is not good enough in you. They will tap into your personal power. The Dark Empaths only have cognitive empathy. Cognitive empathy is where you understand everything about what somebody is going through and you can gauge it. But you're not actually emotionally affected at all. Dark Empaths tend to empathize by fully understanding what you're going through. But they're not actually in solidarity with you. They're just listening, like a neutral recording device switched on. A Dark Empath is very good at pretending to feel what you do by changing their facial expressions, their body language. But the Dark Empath does not care. They are master manipulators. They'll emotionally manipulate you. They will use your vulnerability to extract sessions and information from you that they can use to embed a belief that you are very problematic or that your problems come from within you. A Dark Empath will spread rumors about you to get leverage. Dark Empaths, they will appear to be your friend, but Behind your back, they're gossiping you. They are frenemies. They'll backstab you, they'll hurt you. They'll provide understanding and a listening ear only in order to gather intelligence and resources. Then they'll use what they've learned about you to hurt you. Then they'll promise to be on your side next time and repeat the same cycle again. A dark empath has deep issues. You can never rely on a dark empath to keep a secret or to stand by you in hard times. They'll keep you down in order to get themselves up. They'll only listen to you when it suits them. They'll be there for you as long as you can benefit them. But as soon as the dark empath gets someone else who can benefit them, then they will turn on you and push you down to elevate themselves. Dark empaths love sensitive, insecure, and trusting people. They love people who feel stuck and powerless in life. They exploit them. Now, when you're dealing with a dark empath, just know they will use their knowledge that they have of you to cheat you. They'll use what they know about you to cheat you. They know what can make you get emotional. They know what can make you worked up. Then they will use this to use you, to play games, to get their way. The dark empath, they never accept when they are wrong. They think they're infallible. They don't recognize when they are wrong. They believe they are always right. If they make a mistake, the dark empath will turn that back on you. They'll blame you or find a way to make you pay for it. The dark empath is never the one who is on the wrong. It has to be somebody else. It's always somebody else who will be blamed. The dark empath is a master gaslighter. They'll make you doubt what you have seen and experienced, or tell you that you are responsible for it. The dark empath also believes they are superior to everyone else. They consider themselves better than others. They are not sorry for hurting and exploiting others. They use, then discard others. They see the problems of others as weaknesses. They're emotional predators. They understand the problems of others, but they see them as weaknesses to be exploited, not problems to be resolved. Dark empaths love pretending that they are available to listen to you. They'll pretend to offer advice. But all this time, they'll try to establish a context of power and manipulate you later. A dark empath will make you doubt your own eyes because they are masters at gaslighting. They'll convince you that what you're perceiving or experiencing is not what you think. They'll make you question your reality. They'll convince you that even though it is what you think, the situation or experience is actually your fault and was caused or worsened by you. They'll find a way to blame you for all your problems. They'll play the victim. They're very good at playing the victim when necessary. They are intensely narcissistic at their core. Dark empathy is related to narcissism as a part of the dark triad. That is narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. However, unlike narcissists, who are traditionally known for being very low in empathy, dark empaths have a high ability to cognitively empathize for their own personal gain. You might think it's easy to spot a manipulative person, but dark empaths are highly skilled at making people feel emotionally safe to be vulnerable with them. Because dark empaths' toxic behavior is covert, it is hidden, then this video is important for you to be able to know the signs of dark empathy, for you to be able to spot a dark empath in order to protect yourself from this harmful personality type. So, first things first, what is a dark empath? A dark empath is a person who understands another person's emotions but doesn't experience those feelings. A dark empath may pretend like they care about what you're going through, but they will use your emotions to manipulate you. A dark empath, they will use this relationship to take advantage of you. They will use that relationship to take advantage of you when you are at your most vulnerable. But an empath will feel you. They feel with you, and they comfort you, and they support you. But dark empaths will avoid getting too close. They will maintain an emotional distance, disguised as charm and understanding. And this is for personal gain. Dark empathy is related to the dark triad personality traits. When you talk about dark triad traits, we are referring to narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. So, the dark empaths will use cognitive empathy to their advantage, meaning they know what it is you want and feel. But the dark empaths will use it against you. Dark empaths and narcissists are different, yes, but the effects are very harmful and they're very similar. So, how do you spot a narcissist? The same way you can spot a narcissist, the same way you can spot a dark empath. And that's what you're looking at in this video. How do these dark empaths hurt you? The dark empath will encourage more sharing to get information about you so that they can manipulate you. They'll empathize with you and they'll feel what you're feeling. They'll pretend to feel what you're feeling so that they can get information from you. Number one way of spotting a dark empath, everything works out magically in their favor. Dark empaths are master manipulators. They are highly manipulative. They will use the knowledge they have collected on you and others to manipulate you. Dark empaths, just like narcissists, they want their needs to be met first above everyone else and everything else. They repress their mental health problems. That is another way to spot a dark empath. They are highly self-aware. They tend to understand but repress mental health issues like anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, and low self-worth. They appear confident and charming, but they appear like they could snap if things don't go their way. That's a sign of dark empathy. A dark empath is sarcastic, and they also have dark humor. They use irony to mock or convey contempt. Dark empaths will disguise their contempt or ridicule with sarcasm or dark humor. It may seem harmless, but they are bullying, belittling, and shaming you. So if you know someone who communicates this way by trying to be funny, but belittling and bullying and shaming others, then they are a dark empath. Dark empath, they employ cognitive empathy. They are able to maintain emotional distance so that they can position and prepare themselves to react and use your emotions against you. If someone has ever left you feeling played or shamed after sharing something with you, that means you encountered a dark empath. The dark empath will guilt trip you. They will strategically guilt trip you to make you feel bad about something that you've done. They appear charming and agreeable. They are masters of disguise. They appear incredibly social, charming, and agreeable to the unsuspecting person. But on the inside, a dark empath maintains an antagonistic core. They are very manipulative. They are emotionally intuitive. And their extroversion makes them extraordinarily good with people. So the common manipulative tactics used by dark empaths: they'll gossip, they'll convey contempt through irony, that is sarcasm. They will love bomb you, that is excessive attention and affection towards someone. They'll ghost you, they'll gaslight you, they'll play the victim. And again, dark empaths are vindictive if they don't get their way, or if their wants and needs don't come first. They'll also keep themselves emotionally unavailable to others. They also have a big ego, and they also need constant validation. So, some of the dark empaths' behaviors and habits is like gossiping, sarcasm, love bombing, ghosting, gaslighting, and playing the victim. Dark empaths, they understand the way you are feeling, and they make it seem as though they care, but they are using their cognitive ability to empathize with you for their personal gain. When we talk about cognitive empathy, we are referring to the ability to understand and recognize the thoughts, feelings, and perspective of others without getting emotionally involved. Dark empaths are skilled at expressing empathy in a cognitive way rather than an emotional way. And the emotional distance they retain while operating equips the dark empath with a laser focus to achieve their ends through manipulation tactics such as gaslighting, projection, gossiping, bullying, lying, and so on. Dark empath will typically exhibit 3 interconnected maladaptive personality constructs, commonly referred to as the dark triad. The dark triad constitutes of 3 elements. Number 1 is Machiavellianism, which refers to a person's exploitative, cynical, and manipulative disposition. Then we have psychopathy, which is characterized by a combination of affective interpersonal flaws such as superficial charm or callous affect and behavioral deficits. such as an erratic lifestyle or antisocial behavior. And then we have narcissism, which is all about grandiose thinking, an exaggerated sense of entitlement, self-importance, and superiority. So dark empaths, they are manipulative. They use the ability to understand and manipulate the emotions of others for personal gain or to control situations. They will guilt trip you one day and make you feel like you're on the wrong. Then the next day, they gaslight you if you confront them about their behavior. And they will even give a fake apology, say sorry, a fake one. They attempt to convince you that you misunderstood the situation. The dark empath, again, they are extroverted than others. They are also keenly perceptive. They are highly attuned to the way others are feeling or reacting to situations. They can use information that they get to endear themselves to potential targets. And this makes them appear like they are understanding and caring. But the main motive is for them to achieve their own goals. Any information they get, they will use it to achieve their goals. Again, with dark empath, they retain emotional distance from other people. Yes, they convey a sense of deep understanding of their perspective, but they still retain emotional distance. They can draw people closer to them and make them feel that both parties have formed an authentic bond. But at the same time, they'll maintain a perceived sense of control. Then when they have ensnared the other person, they can manipulate them without genuine concern for their feelings. The dark empaths, they judge themselves critically. They have this unique form of self-criticism. The self-critical stance by dark empaths is driven by a desire to refine their skills of emotional control and exploitation rather than genuine remorse for their actions. When you look at dark empath, they have Machiavellianism and psychopathy. And this is what makes them a little bit more different than the narcissists. How do you deal with this dark empath? Number one, you set boundaries. Communicate your boundaries firmly with the dark empath and be clear about what behaviors are acceptable and unacceptable, and what you'll tolerate and what you'll not tolerate. Stay emotionally grounded and maintain independence and limit contact with this dark empath. Recognize your own emotions and vulnerabilities and shield them from the dark empath. Maintain distance from their emotional support and reach out to a trusted loved one. Limit your contact with the dark empath. And if they continue to bother you, do not hesitate to reach out to some support system or call for help. Seek support from your network. Discuss your concerns with your trusted friends, trusted family members, or even a therapist. They can guide you. Get therapy. If you feel that your sense of self has been compromised by the impact of a dark empath in your life, professional help will add value to you. Again, practice self-care. Focus on your emotional well-being. Do meditation. Focus on your hobbies. And then be kind to yourself. Dealing with a dark empath is not easy. Now, the difference between dark empath and psychopaths is that Psychopaths exhibit a complete lack of empathy, but dark empaths have high levels of cognitive empathy. Both are manipulators and they need to achieve their own aims. But the dark empaths can use empathetic skills to manipulate others. Psychopaths are driven by lack of moral restraint and complete disregard for others' emotions. Now, when it comes to empaths and narcissists, narcissists and empaths both have a sense of grandiosity, entitlement, and self-importance. But narcissists do not display the same level of self-judgment as dark empaths. Narcissists, they don't see their flaws. They don't reflect on their actions and how it affects others. But dark empaths, due to their high levels of cognitive empathy, they can display higher levels of self-judgment. They may recognize that they are doing badly, but continue to do so anyway. Dark empathy is a trait that describes someone who understands another's emotions, but can't feel them. Dark empaths use gaslighting and charm to manipulate the people close to them. A dark empath may tell a lot of sarcastic jokes, gossip, and bully others. Now, dark empath personality type may be more dangerous than narcissism because it is harder to spot. So, dark empaths can refer to people who tend to have trouble with emotional empathy or physically feeling the emotions someone else is experiencing. Dark empathy isn't a diagnosable mental health condition, but a personality trait that people may embody to different extents. People with personality disorders like narcissism are characterized by traits that include charm and disregard for the feelings of others. They lack empathy. But dark empaths, they have dark traits associated with those conditions. Dark empaths could cognitively understand someone else's emotions and seem invested in a relationship. But when it comes to supporting a loved one, dark empaths don't take action. They process empathy only on a brain level. They could use what they learn to manipulate you while keeping an emotional distance. Dark empaths use less obvious and more covert tactics. And this makes it very difficult to spot the dark empath compared to a narcissist. The traits and signs of a dark empath are hidden, they are subtle, they are indirect, and then they include love bombing, gaslighting, or sarcasm. Pointed jokes, guilty trips are very good signs that you're dealing with a dark empath. Now, if you want to know you're dealing with a dark empath, their jokes are very sarcastic. They use more manipulative tactics, biting humor, which is indirect, yet very effective way to affect someone else. If you notice that someone relies on sarcasm to hurt others through malicious comments, and they say those are jokes, it means they have dark empathy as a personality trait. If someone oftenly jokes about people they deem inferior, that may also suggest they are a dark empath. A dark empath will also try to guilt trip you oftenly. Guilt tripping is another loved manipulative tactic for dark empaths. A dark empath will always attempt to guilt trip you when you don't agree with what they say, with what they think or do. Dark empaths will constantly gossip. They are constantly gossiping. They are acting kind to others. They are acting agreeable to others. But they will turn around and gossip. Why? Because it means they have dark empathy. Dark empaths tend to focus on what they could get out of relationships. When dark empaths don't like what they get, they act in vindictive ways. They will talk about loved ones behind their backs instead of being honest about the cause of their dislike. A dark empath can be very charming until they don't get what they want. A dark empath seems very agreeable until things don't go their way. It is their way or the highway. Dark empath, they can be very charming. They can put you on a pedestal and then be the very person who will knock that pedestal down. So one thing you should know about a dark empath is this is someone who has difficulty with emotional empathy. They can't feel the emotions of another person. The dark empath doesn't emotionally connect with someone else's feelings. They do identify the other person's viewpoint and they use that to their advantage. The dark empath uses the emotions another person exhibits and turns that into manipulation. The dark empath will guilt trip you into thinking you are at fault for something that you're not. They crave attention, but they do not gain pleasure from social rewards and desire to have a sense of power. The reason why a dark empath may be more dangerous than a more cold and unfeeling dark triad type or a narcissist is because a dark empath can draw you in closer and harm you as a result. The closer you are to someone, the more you can hurt them. Now, genuine empathy must have intrinsic emotional and pro-social elements. But dark empath is more manipulation. It is like giving a surgical, almost razor precision focus on another person to understand what makes them tick, with the goal of almost mining information that could be used to take advantage of that person. Mirrored empathy can put the other person at ease and they may relax. And that is what the dark empath does. Dark empaths, they have this malicious humor. They gaslight and guilt trip others. They use other people. They use other people for personal gain. They have this ability to read people so well. They sense what others need and then they play the complementary role to satisfy their own personal agenda. The dark empaths can fake sincerity. A dark empath understands your emotions very well, but they don't feel them. Now, a narcissist, on the other hand, they don't understand your emotions and they also don't feel them. Both the dark empath and the narcissist, they know how to fake their feelings and pretend to empathize with you. And this makes both the dark empath personality type and the narcissist very dangerous. But between the dark empath and the narcissist, the dark empath is the most dangerous. And I'll tell you why in this video. A dark empath has narcissistic tendencies, but they're not narcissists. You can identify a narcissist very easily. You can spot them very easily. But a dark empath is difficult to spot. You won't have the gut feeling that something is wrong when you're dealing with a dark empath, the way you'll feel something is wrong when you're dealing with a narcissist. So you're dealing with a dark empath, the most dangerous personality type. If you realize that this person has a sense of humor, a big sense of humor, they are very good at sarcasm. When you are around a dark empath, you'll find yourself laughing a lot at their jokes. You'll be laughing all the time at the dark empath's jokes. The only thing is that these jokes will be hurting others. The jokes are not directly aimed at one person. The jokes are not extremely cruel, but they'll cut like a knife. So the comments these dark empaths make will be quick, sharp, and very witty, and very cruel if you feel they would have been said by someone else, or if they were said in a different way. And the dark empaths, they get away with these cutting jokes, this kind of painful jokes, because they are very quick at apologizing. They are very quick at saying sorry, and they and brush it as a joke before you get angry. Now, the dark empath, the other thing about dark empath that makes them very dangerous, they are charming at first. They are very charismatic. They have many friends. People say they are nice when they meet them first. They seem to be nice people, kind, polite. They understand everything. But with a narcissist, they can't do this. With a narcissist, they charm you to make you like and trust them. Now, the dark empath, unlike the narcissist will slowly test your boundaries and manipulate you for no reason but to make themselves feel good. But a dark empath, they are charming for the same reasons, to win you over, just like the narcissist. But the dark empath, they don't use that compassion against you unless they really need to. The dark empath loves to live with the knowledge that they know they could damage you if they need to. The dark empath will constantly hurt you and then say sorry. They'll constantly hurt you and apologize. That's another way of knowing what dark empath is. They are known for the ability to understand exactly what gets under your skin. They know what your weaknesses are, what angers you. Because the dark empaths, they are very good at listening. And they understand the emotions of others very well. They understand your emotions. But the problem with dark empaths, they don't feel your emotions. They don't really care about how you are feeling. They care more about saying the right thing and keeping you on their side. If you ever do anything to annoy a dark empath, then they will upset you, they'll embarrass you, but they'll be very strategic about it. When you confront them, they'll apologize to win you back over again. Now, the difference between a dark empath and a narcissist is that a narcissist never apologizes. And even if a narcissist apologizes, it will not feel very genuine. Another thing about the dark empath, they pick and choose the people they want to be remorseful to. They play hot and cold sometimes. Now, a dark empath, they're very understanding with certain people. They'll say all the right things. And they'll be very caring with these people. But with someone else, the dark empath is completely different. They've changed. They are dismissive. So, dealing with a dark empath, you realize that they keep their distance when you're sad and blue. They understand your emotions, just like the way other empaths do. If you're going through a breakup, if you've lost a job, if you've been hurt, terribly hurt, betrayed, if you are angry, they understand those emotions. But they don't genuinely experience these emotions themselves. So the dark empath will avoid you when you're going through those emotions. They'll keep their distance from you. You won't spot this behavior easily because they'll still be involved in your life in one way or the other. They will support you, but half-heartedly. They'll keep their distance, preferring to be around you when it is more fun or enjoyable for them. Another thing with this dark empath, they will guilt trip people, even if it's indirectly or subtly. Guilt tripping is when someone makes you feel bad about yourself, when someone makes you feel bad about what is going on, about what you're doing. They guilt trip you to make you do something else instead. So, dark empaths are masters at guilt tripping. They will guilt trip you a lot. And they also know how to emotionally persuade others. And that is what we call manipulation. In quotes. The narcissist will manipulate others to achieve what they want. But the dark empath, they use their fake or false empathy to achieve what they think is best for them. A dark empath could persuade anyone to do anything because they understand the emotions of others so deeply. They can connect with someone and make the right suggestions. But most of the time, they don't do that. They just want to know they can do it, but they will not do it. They'll only do it if they think it is best for you, for them, or others, rather than just for themselves. That's why when you're dealing with a dark empath, you'll see them using that strategy a lot in persuading other people. They can switch on the emotions and switch them off. They can turn the emotions on and off like a switch. Thank you for watching this video. If you are a dark empath, or if you're not sure if you're a dark empath, then rewatch this video again and again and again